Strict rules the Squid Game cast had to follow. Hey guys, welcome back to Off Cam Celebs. And today we're talking about the strict rules the Squid Game cast had to follow. The cast of Squid Game had to commit 100 to instance requirements, including gaining weight, enduring extreme conditions, and total confidentiality. Stay fit. The amount of physical stamina the actors in Squid Game show are pretty incredible, and what makes it more impressive is the fact that it's all real. The actors in the show had to stay extremely fit, so when they weren't working hard on set, they had to be working out at the gym to make sure that they'd be able to achieve what was needed. Everything from being able to jump far enough during a glass stepping stone, pulling during a tug of war, or hanging onto a rope as if it will fall off the edge, battling other players viciously, and all of this requires a ton of strength and agility. So everyone had to make sure that they were on top of the form and able to perform the impressive feats multiple times on demand. Crazy schedule. Filming for Squid Game didn't exactly happen from 9 to 5 every day, depending on the needs of the scene. The actors sometimes had extremely morning calls and they began late and work all through the night. Many hours were spent on the set and each one was precious, making these long days very intense and exhausting for the actors, not to mention the crew who arrived first and were the last to leave. Short breaks. Such crazy hours, we would expect plenty of nice long breaks for the cast when they were on set to rest and recover. While they did a Netflix budget, time is money, and any breaks taken while film had to be short to make sure they didn't fall behind schedule. So many of the scenes requires a huge setup and cleanup afterwards, so they had to be very diligent about timing and getting the takes right efficiently. No interviews. If any of the actors received an individual interview request, it was a no-go unless first cleared by the production team. With such a major show and all the Netflix hype, the performers of Squid Game had to be rocketed on worldwide stardom, and loads of fans want to hear more from them. The producing team for the K-drama was on top of everything though, marketing the show, taking care of their artists, and making sure everything went according to plan. It might seem intense, but running a show this big takes a lot of organization and work. It's evident the Squid Game crew is pretty incredible at what they do. Weight gain. While everyone in the cast had to work out and stay in shape in order to perform every day, the actor who played Dok Soo had to start work earlier since he also needed to gain nearly 40 pounds as well. It was really important in the show for his character to have large physical build, and this was definitely one rule not broken. This intense physical transformation did come at a cost though. The combination left the actor exhausted, feeling the effects of onset in his body, but he continued to push his limits every day. His body couldn't quite take it anymore when filming Tug of War. Between the takes, the always tough Dok Soo was throwing up from physical exertion and discomfort. Even after the filming wrapped, the actor continued to experience negative effects. Confidentiality agreement. When these actors were cast, contracts had to be assigned, and those included strict confidentiality agreements. The actors had to tight-lipped and discreet about the show, making sure not to give away any details even if they seemed insignificant. As we know from watching Squid Game pretty well, nothing we see doesn't have some other meaning. While they were working on such an exciting show and many have wanted to share stories from the set, the only people the cast could talk about with their work to with their cast members. The secrets of the set even have to be kept to their closest friends and family. No alcohol. After a long day of hard work, plenty of people have to have a drink and let off some steam, but not everyone is in the cast of Squid Game. The Sebyok actress is pretty used to model lifestyle, late nights, big parties, great drinks, and she loves it. The actress was often eager to go out of work, but her invites to fellow castmates typically were declined since the actors had physically, mentally, and emotionally intense works to every day. They couldn't afford to have anything negatively affect them. Work and school. Anupam Tripathi may be a breakout Netflix star, but he's also still an acting student. The performer was filming full-time for Squid Game while also devoting significant time to his thesis. His show's schedule filming was hectic enough itself, so adding all the extra work that comes with working on a thesis during supposed downtime definitely makes for a tough experience. Tripathi had to make some of neither worth conflict with others so he could stay focused on while giving 100 to both. He was definitely worn pretty thin by the end, but fortunately he loves what he does and has a great attitude about being a student and acting forever. Just another reason to be impressed by this amazing performer. Learning games. Is it just us or are the rules of the actual Squid Game pretty confusing? Whether or not the actors had actually played or known these games during their childhoods, everyone get pretty familiar with the activities by end of filming. These performers couldn't just act out what they were doing and have stunt doubles come in and out over to take time came for the intense game. Every actor had to really understand how to play. They weren't messing around, even the Dalgona honeycomb candies were real. Definitely a tricky one, especially for those unfortunate players in the umbrella category. No flinching. There were plenty of scenes where the actors in real life fear was perfect for the cameras, like the overwhelming energy in the tug of war or trembling hands during the honeycomb game. However, there were moments when actors had to be up close and personal with danger, whether it was facing a weapon or trying not to move while their hearts were racing during the red light, green light. It was vital for the actors not to flinch, no matter how exhausted or nervous they were, and they may have been in overwhelming scenes, in order to capture what needed to happen. Still as statues. The VIP room holds a lot of strange vibes, from all of its guests being masked to the real human-animal hybrid living statues. These aren't shockingly realistic props. The actors who were cast as these roles were required to cover in full body paint and behave still as statues. Their eerie presence is incredible and they really make an impact, even if they are just in the background. New accent. The Sabyok actress isn't from the same region as her character is in the show, so she had to make sure to hide her own accent as it's different from how she is needed to sound. Before she started filming, the actress had to work diligently with an accent coach to help her sound authentic and throughout the filming. It was something she always had to keep an ear out for, since the wrong accent would be noticeable to anyone who knew the region and it would have broken the illusion of realism we get throughout the show.